Hi Marcelino. The first thing I've noticed today is this was actually good what you did here with a refinery blog posts refinery feeds, where you're linking blog posts and feeds in a many-to-many relationship. So that's actually good. And then when you went to roll that back, yeah, it's actually better if you keep it the other way, because we may have blog posts that go into multiple feeds. So that's going to be useful in the future. So we don't want it this way, where there's just the blog has one feed. Okay, so if you can change that back, that'd be good. Thank you. And then here, where you are finding a feed for the organization, a better way to do this is going to be to find the organization and not do its title. Just find the organization with that code there, and then do an org.public feed and org.private feed instead of finding a feed based on the regex of the title. So it's going to be something like this here. It should be feeds is once you have the org, which would be like this, find the organization, then org.public feed and org. So that those two feeds are explicit there. You have the public feed and the private feed instead of this. Yeah, just doesn't seem the right way to do it, to have a regex on the title. Okay? Okay, so this is the code you're saying you're having trouble getting to work. So I'll let you continue to figure that out. I can't give you any advice at this point. Your include and uninclude functionality looks to be working fairly well. The only thing I'd say is to reverse the color. So when the article is actually included, it should have the green check mark, and when it is unincluded, it should have the gray check mark. So right now it's opposite. Right now this one, Blogger Mania, I have included, and it's gray. And when I click to uninclude, then it goes green. So it should just be the opposite. I should also have a way in the blog to be able to edit the blog. Right now there's only the include and... Well, maybe if I'm the author, I'll be able to edit it. Here, let me check that. Yeah, I think the author got messed up on these blog posts, so that's good. I can delete it, I can edit one that I have created. So that's good. And then instead of a feed category here with a drop down, this should just be a checkbox to say, make this private. And it should automatically go to either the Abbotsford public one or the Abbotsford private based on what the checkmark is, instead of having a drop down. That's inside the blog edit. So when you're editing a blog post, the drop down here should be just a checkbox. And you can actually move that checkbox up to here, right below the, not in the advanced options, it should just be in between here, in between advanced options and the body, right in there, checkbox. Similar to save as draft, but over here. Okay, so now to answer your question about explaining following a feed. So an admin can select a feed to follow it and unselect to unfollow. So let's first do that. So when I go to the feeds tab, I can, just like on the blog posts, where there is I can choose to include these articles. On the feeds, there should be a check mark there. I can follow each of these, so I can choose to follow the Toronto ones or unfollow, just like the blog posts. And once I follow, like if I was to follow this feed here, Toronto Public, then any articles in that feed should also then show up in my blog tab. So they should show up here, just like they do here. But if I go to feeds and unfollow this, click to unfollow, then when I go to the blog, the articles in that blog should not even show up here at all. So I'm logged into Refinery as Toronto right now. So Toronto public and Toronto private. So if I have unchecked the Abbotsford ones, they're not there, they will not show up here in the blog list, and this is actually my private bucket. Right? My private bucket is the ones that I can view to choose to include or not. The public bucket is on the public side when I go to blog. So this is what the public sees. So it's the public bucket of articles that I have chosen to include. If I go to Refinery blog, this is my private bucket, which includes all the things that I am the author of and all the feeds that I have chosen to follow. And I follow those feeds so that they go into my private bucket. I hope that makes sense. So let me know if it still doesn't. I'll try and explain it in more detail, but hopefully you can go from here with the private bucket showing up here, which is just a many-to-many relationship on an organization has feeds to make up its private bucket, and it has feeds and posts, feeds and articles that make up its public bucket. So actually, until you do the full follow, this is only made up of articles. There's no feeds in the public bucket. So it is only articles that I have chosen to include here in my blog list. The only ones that I've chosen to include, they are the ones that show up in my public bucket. And in order to get things in this private bucket, I have to go to include a feed. I mean, not include a feed, follow a feed in order to get it into my private bucket. Okay, I will have a look at this tomorrow, and I hope you have a good day. Thank you, Marcelino.